murder you. Anyways, down there, since we broke those wooden planks, we could access that item. And what that item was the Bastard Sword. I don't think we have enough skill to use it. Yep. Basically, there are a few stats that determine your ability to use weapons. In particular, I think dexterity is a big one, and also strength. But since we're using a heavy weapon like the Bastard Sword, especially with one hand, its effectiveness in battle is considerably lessened. And that's to the point where we're only doing 2 damage to a normal soldier, whereas with the Falchion we'd be doing quite a lot more. It is a little bit weird considering you're still hitting this guy with a giant-ass sword, yet it's only doing 2 damage per hit. But, yeah. Never mind that. Oh, that's what a push is supposed to look like. Usually, at least with the weapons that I'm accustomed to, by pressing R1 and forward at the same time, kind of akin to how you do a smash attack in Brawl, it's expected to push an enemy back like this, and that's especially fun when you're just pushing them constantly until they fall off a cliff or something. Anyways, this is just using the weapon one-handed. Since I did say before you can use weapons two-handed as well as one-handed, using claymores, like the Bastard Sword, it can actually do more damage and allow you to use an item even if you have an ability shortage. In this case, we're so weak using this weapon that we can't even, we can't even really get much use out of it, even if we use it two-handed. But in some cases, if you wield it two-handed, you can get just enough dexterity to still be able to wield the weapon with some skill. Ugh! Lots of explaining stuff. I apologize for that. I'm gonna try and streamline this a little bit more. I feel like I'm standing there and trying to explain this stuff, and it's not the best idea. But anyways, yeah. We're not ready to use the Bastard Sword yet. It is a decent weapon. It's very slow, so you have to make sure that your enemy's guard is down when you're using it, and they're not gonna smack you before you can get an attack off, but it still has its uses. Either way, the Falchion is our best bet right now, so we're gonna stick with that. Okay, so got some bolts. It's ammo for crossbows, obviously. Down here, you'll see this message. It's not the best message to describe this, but more or less what they're trying to hint at is that this guy down here, he is a Red-Eye Knight. And Red-Eye Knights murder you if you try and attack them right off the bat. They're much more high-level enemies than anybody we've faced thus far, even more so than Blue-Eyed Knights, so trying to take them on is more or less suicide, unless you are very, very good at evading them. And even then, that one is actually a polearms user, so he can do a charging attack that hits you multiple times, and in doing so it can actually drain your fatigue so much that you can't block anymore, and he just goes on to eat up your health bar in like one shot. See, unlike the Blue-Eye Knight, which we can take care of pretty easily, that Red-Eye Knight will immortalize us. Anyways, throw all caution to the wind and just drop down off of that ledge, because you can actually get some stuff down here, including our first ranged weapon, this light crossbow. There's also a heavy crossbow, which is more effective in battle, but it's a lot slower, I guess, or it's a lot more heavy, a little bit more heavy, I guess. But yeah, basically crossbows, you load them up, shoot them, get hit by a fire bottle, finish killing this guy. There we go. And he has nothing to give us, so we'll just let him topple down. Alright, so backtracking just a little bit. We're gonna have to climb up here again. But yeah, that's the crossbow. I don't use the crossbow very much either. More than the crossbow, I'm really a bow and arrow kind of guy, mostly because the bow and arrow allows you to go into a first-person view, and that can be much better than having to use the lock-on mechanic in many cases, especially when you're fighting some things that require ranged weapons to defeat, like the dragons, for instance. Both of the dragons, there are two dragons, a red scale dragon and blue scale dragon. Both of them in most cases, unless you're very good with your timing, and I mean very, very good with your timing, have to be fought with ranged weapons, be it magic or with bows, and crossbow isn't the best option. It does work to an extent, but it's not great. Anyways, we have some explosive barrels down here, and guys with flaming swords. Put two and two together, and that guy just made a very stupid mistake. Sometimes this guy will actually catch up before the other one hits the barrels, and they'll both blow up in the explosion. You can actually do the same thing to yourself if you use a sword that uses a fire enchantment, or if you put turpentine on your weapon, which is more or less just a natural way of enchanting it. That guy just fell down the stairway there. Wasn't far enough down to die, though. This game is a little bit lenient with that aspect, you know, the whole falling to your doom thing, but if you fall too far, you'll be in pretty bad shape. Oh god! Hey there. Just try and explain things. Quit it. I'm having trouble pulling off my backstabs. Anyways, those two chains that we just broke, we're actually holding up those two corpses. Now that we've brought them down to the ground, we can pick up the items that they had on them. One of them's a sort of side quest related item. Hi, Yorda. Oh god. My cat is sniffing my face. And the other one is an armor set that only female characters can use, so... one of them is sort of useful, and the other one we don't really have a use for. Anyways, maybe I'll try and use that crossbow again on these guys, since there's so many of them. Oh yeah, that works pretty well. Ah! And that's why you don't want to get caught up in an assault by a lot of enemies. It's very bad news. Okay, that's one down. Let's get a second down. The other one fell off the stairs. I think he's still alive, though. I didn't see any souls come towards me. So, I'm just going to assume he's still living. He is still of the living. Anyways. He's so low on health. Oh god! I was going to say that I could just finish him off, but he kind of got caught beneath the stairs. I couldn't hit him with my Falchion. That's another weird thing, is when you are fighting on the stairs, you can get yourself into some very bad situations. What you just heard there was another gun barrel, or gunpowder barrel explosion. I'm imagining they're filled with gunpowder, or something like that. But yeah. These Draglings aren't all too smart. Their strategies range from hitting giant things of gunpowder with flaming swords to swinging wildly at nothing, which gives you a very nice vantage point to backstab them from. What we just got there was the Cling Ring. That is going to be invaluable to us whenever we're in soul form. What it does is it allows us to keep up to 75% of our health bar, as I mentioned before. I think you guys already know the deal with that. So yeah, we got the old ragged robes armor set thing, and we got the jade hair ornament, and we also have a little shortcut all the way up to that castle wall. So we'll just go on ahead back up this way. Whoa. Ragdolling like crazy, these people. It's another thing I love about this game is the ragdoll physics. Sometimes people get caught on your legs, so you'll be running down a hallway with a guy just flailing madly. It's great. Like, they just become the weight of a feather as soon as they die. It's very silly. And sorry if the game's too dark. I may actually turn up the brightness once this video's done, so things are a little bit clearer for us. It is a very dark game, especially when we get to World 2. This is actually one of, I think, just two actually bright worlds in this game, so I'll definitely be wanting to change, you know, up the brightness setting on it. Anyways, we're at 19 minutes, so before we continue on into this first level of the outer walls of the Boltarian Palace, I'm going to cut it short. Next time, we will continue into the palace and hopefully get most of this level done. I expect this place to take us 3 videos. 2 videos getting through the level, then 1 video taking down the boss, so... Alright, see you then.